Okay, let's try another one out now. So, the number one misconception that students do is they multiply 9 times the 4 and get 36, and then multiply the 6 times the 4 and get 24 and add them together. That is not correct. And the reason why is because although this 9 and this 4 do make this rectangle, if you cut it that way, this 6 is not just this small section of what you're needing. So let's look at what I'm talking about here. So there's two ways you could have cut this shape up. So let me just show. From here, you can either cut it this way and make a rectangle here and here, or you can cut it long ways and do a rectangle here and here. So here are the two different ways you can solve this question. So if I was to cut this up horizontally, then it's easy to see that shape A is 6 times 4. But I do not use the 9 to multiply by 4 because the 9 was cut up. Down here, if you cut it this way, you wouldn't use this whole 6 because it was cut up, but you would use the whole 9 and 4. So you have to be very careful about how you decide to cut these up and why. So let's start with this first one. Shape A is a rectangle, so I'm going to do length times width. My length is easily 6 and 4. That's 24. That's shape A. Shape B now. I do not use the 9. The 9 is the whole thing. B is only a part of it. I am going to use the 4 though, because this 4 is my whole width. So I am going to use 4. But for my length, I'm not going to use 9. If this is 4 and this is 4, this part is 4, and this part over here then would have to be 5. Because the 9 is the total, I take away the 4, I'm left with 5. 4 plus 5 gets me my total 9. So for shape B, I'm going to use 9 times 5, which is 20. Sorry, 5 times 4, which is 20. Then I'm going to add these together, and I get 44 is my answer for the area of this shape. So that's one way is if you broke this up and down. If you broke this up side to side, let's label A and label B. For label A, I'm not going to use 6 anymore. I'm not going to use 6 like I did up here because I cut it differently. So my 6 would be this whole thing. If from here to here is 4, we know from here to here is 4. If the whole thing is 6, 6 is the total, 4 is this part, 2 has to be the width up here. So for A, I'm going to use the whole 4 and the 2. I don't use the 6 because that would be the whole length. So I'm going to do 4 times 2, which is 8. So shape A is 8. Shape B, I'm going to use this whole length as 9 because it's not cut up anywhere there. I'm not going to use this 6 because that's the whole thing. I'm only going to use 4 because the width is 4. So over here for shape B, this was 8. For shape B, I'm going to use the 9, and I'm going to use the 4, and I get 36. And now when I add the 36 and the 8, I get back to my 44, which you can see either way I cut these up, I got 44. Keep hanging in there, guys.